So, as you could see in the previous footage, I went and watched Scream 6. Yeah, Scream 6, and I went in a little bit later than I wanted to. I just had the opportunity to do it a week later, and I considered not reviewing it anymore, but one, it's my most anticipated, so I had to review it, and two, I decided to go for the 4DX experience, so watched it in 4D. So I thought that could be an interesting point of view of someone that watched it in 4D. And today was actually a super long day. I watched the new Shazam film in the morning, and a review is coming soon. And in the afternoon I went to another city to watch Scream 6 in 4D. So yeah, let's talk about it. Needless to say, my expectations were middle high. I would say I didn't watch any trailers, just like the first teaser one that they're in the subway. That was it. I avoided spoilers for this past week. I don't know how, but I did. And I didn't watch nor read any reviews, so I had no idea what I was getting myself into. But because I loved the previous one so much, I had high expectations. As you might have seen in my most anticipated video, it was my top one, my number one, even though it was sort of tied with Knock at the Cabin. So yeah, I had like middle to high expectations for this one. And I would say that my expectations weren't really met. Like, I would say the previous one is like way better, like no comparison. Honestly, I loved Scream 5 with this one. I mean, it's fun, and I think like having the 4D experience totally enhanced my love for the film. Like, I think that made it way more funny and enjoyable, because you wouldn't think it would have a lot of 4D elements, but there's a lot of running, a lot of like fights, obviously, so you're thrown around and you see it like constantly, and it's kind of fun that. So that was really fun and exciting, and it's pretty expensive, but I would say if you can afford it, I would recommend to watch it in 4D because it's fun. But the like story, the core story of the film, one, I thought it had way too many elements to it. I didn't love the resolution, to be honest. There were a lot of elements to it that I didn't love. Obviously, I'm not gonna get into spoilers. And this wasn't as funny, and it didn't have a lot of like horror jokes and poking fun at horror movies and the fans. There wasn't a lot of that in this film, while the previous one, it was like really heavy on like the funny bits and just making fun of the fans and of horror movies in general. This one wasn't as meta as any of the previous ones, to be honest, but comparing to Scream 5, yeah, this had like one or two jokes, I would say, and that just made it less fun. But the 4D experience made up for the lack of like comedic moments, I would say. What I did like, so I really liked the first scene, like the opening scene. It was kind of predictable in a way, but there was an element to it that was really surprising, and I really liked that. If you love these characters, if you like the characters from the previous film, I think you're going to like this one just because of them, because the core group is pretty enjoyable to watch. But if you weren't a fan, I don't think you would love this film, to be honest, because it's really heavy on that bond, like having Tara and Samantha and Chad and Mindy, like their friendship is a heavy part of this film. So if you didn't like those characters, I don't think you will love this film, because the reveal of the killer at the end wasn't super predictable, but to me, but I would say a lot of people will predict it, and it wasn't super enjoyable, to be honest. So yeah, I didn't love the end, and I didn't love the overall story, what they were trying to like achieve. But I loved the dynamics, I loved the characters, I loved, as I said, the experience of like being thrown around in my seat and having like the water spray on my face when the blood would gush out of some of the kills. And yeah, that was fun. That made me like the film a little bit more, but at the end of the day, I didn't love this one nearly as much as the previous one. I loved the previous one. This one, it's kinda messy. It doesn't really feel like a Scream film, to be honest. Like the previous one was a really good homage to all the other films. This one has a lot of elements and talks a lot about the previous films, but it doesn't have like the same feel to it. It's also not as stylized as the previous one. Yeah, at the end of the day, it was a little bit lackluster. I enjoyed it, but not as much as I wanted to. So yeah, in the end, I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. I think, yeah, it's fine. It's probably still like good and interesting on rewatches. I probably will rewatch it, but not as much as the previous one, because I loved Scream 5, and this one was just okay. So yeah guys, these are my thoughts on Scream 6, the 4D experience, something like that. So yeah, I'm pretty sure by now a lot of you have already seen it, so let me know in the comments your thoughts on the movie overall. Let me know if you watched it in 4D, because I don't know a lot of people that did. So yeah, let me know that. Let me know like if you guessed who the killer was and if you liked that reveal. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it from me. Expect a Shazam review pretty soon. And yeah, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, and I'll see you in my next video.